welcome back to another video, or welcome if you're new. I am Angela, aka Chefette of Chefetteandlittle. On my channel, you'll find content about mom life, cleaning, everyday cleaning, cooking, as well as DIY furniture flipping and room makeovers, as I slowly make over pretty much every single room in our 1964 fixer-upper, and take you guys along with me. So if you are interested in any of that content, I'd love it if you would subscribe and click the follow button so that you get notified when I release a new video. I post content on Sunday mornings, Sundays at 10 a.m. So I wanted to also film this as a little kind of intro because today's video is going to be all about our cloth diapering routine that we followed with our first son. I did film the content a while ago. It just took me a really long time to finally get the editing up and going. So that's why it's a little bit old content, but everything is still the same. Like we're about to start our cloth diapering journey number 2 with our baby that's due in September, and we're gonna follow the exact same routine. So we really liked the cloth diapering thing for the first, as much as anyone can like diapering. But anyway, so hope you'll enjoy this video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Okay, so welcome everyone. This is gonna be my TED Talk about cloth diapering. So my name is Angela. I am a mom of one human child and one doggo child who actually both use cloth diapers, surprisingly. I just realized that. Anyway, I have a toddler. He is almost 2, and we have been cloth diapering since he was about, I want to say 2 months, 8 weeks-ish, 6 weeks to 8 weeks, something like that. So I just wanted to make a video about what works for us, what we've learned, what are our cloth diapers. It's just kind of like the whole gamut. So I'm going to start by just going over the basics of like what is cloth diapering, what do they look like, etc., etc. And then I'm going to go into more about why we cloth diaper, what we've learned, and the savings, like the benefits, and the cons, because there are definitely drawbacks. And I do have a little bit of a script here because there were a couple of things, like I did some research about cost differences and stuff. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. Oh, also I could be looking at my supplies because I have supplies nearby. Okay. So I wanted to start off with just saying what cloth diapers even are. So I think a lot of people have like this preconceived notion of rubber pants from the 70s. Things have changed a lot in the cloth diapering world. They've really leveled up since then. So these are traditional cloth diapers. This is by Gerber, this brand. They're essentially just a piece of cloth, like a rectangle, I guess, and then 3 strips. So this strip down the middle here is very absorbent. Like you can feel it's thicker. I think it's like 2 or 3 layers, and there's some sort of maybe stuffing or something in there. This is a traditional diaper. So this is what most people think of when they think of a cloth diaper. This doesn't look like a diaper to me. Like this seems very overwhelming to a lot of people. Yeah, because I should also say, I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. There's 3 main types of cloth diapers available in the world. So I'll show an example of each type and then I'll break it down. This is a pocket. These are probably the most common, most popular, maybe. So if this is I guess like maybe polyester, nylon exterior, it's waterproof, I'd say. Let's see. Polyester, yes. And then on snaps, this is like a soft material. It says it's 100% polyester, so it's also some sort of poly blend. Very soft absorbent material. And then inside is a little pad. So this is what actually absorbs the pee-pee. So this is called a pocket because there is a pocket where you put the absorbent pad. And what we do is we stuff them after they're washed, and so they're all ready to rumble for when you need it next. This is what we use. I find them the easiest to use. Yeah, they're just like super user friendly. And then you have all-in-ones. Unfortunately, I do not have an example of an all-in-one. I don't know what happened to them. I know of one that's dirty. They are the most pricey of cloth diapers, but they are they're the easiest for sure. And they're the most like a conventional diaper. It's all in one. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'll try to find a link to some. I only bought him like 5 total, and they have disappeared. I think some may have been pilfered at daycare, which kind of stinks because they are kind of pricey. But anyway, and then I know of one because he wore it earlier today, but it's in the wash. So the last version is back to what I was showing you at the beginning. This little flat diaper situation. But this piece is not waterproof. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. This is gonna be the most bang for your buck. A pack of 10 of these is $10. So these are $1 each. And I'll get more into the cost of each individual one as we get farther along. This is also the hardest. I would say from difficulty level, it goes all in one, pockets, liners, whatever the heck these are, conventional diapers, regular diapers. So this is your waterproof cover. The rubber pants, if you will. They've replaced the rubber pants. The rubber pants of the 2020s. Anyway, so there's a couple of different options to do with this. I actually like these a lot. My husband cannot get the hang of them. So we don't end up using them a lot, but I actually really like them. And they're not very expensive, and you can also use them as swim diapers. It is good to double layer when we're swimming, so you're not trying to keep peeing, like, it's just not gonna happen, but you're trying to keep poop from getting out. So having 2 diapers is a good idea. So we use these a lot for swimming, actually, these covers. So there's a couple different ways you can do this version of diaper. There's a couple folds. I'm not the best at folding these, but you can kind of position it kind of like a diaper, say, you know what, let me get a bear. So you have your flat plate thing, and you kind of just fold it in, and you do kind of like a little foldy woldy action. You kind of fold it down, and you kind of just fold it up. So you can do this, and then you have these guys. These take the place of pins. I don't recommend using safety pins. They're kind of like grabbers, but they are still sharp, so be careful of you. They're not gonna draw blood sharp, but they also don't feel that great. Okay, and then you would just put this little cover over, and you just snap it into place. And then you just want to make sure all of the fabric is covered by the polyester cover, because that's going to prevent leaking. Okay, so there's one option. I find an easier way to use these, excuse me, poo, let me get on diaper you, is to fold. Okay, and then you kind of tuck, a little tuck action. But the reason why, well, let me finish showing. Okay, see, I really like this, and you can really tailor this. You can put like 2 or 3 to make it into like an overnight situation. The reason why they're a little bit harder to use is like you have to like do that. You can't really like pre-make them like you can with pockets really. So I feel like for an itty baby, this is easier because they're not moving around. But once you're a toddler, like you've got like less than 5 seconds to get that diaper change done, and you don't have time messing around with this. I have tried to like pre-make them, but it slides around and yeah, just doesn't always work out. So anyway, so that is the basics of cloth diapering. Like I said, I will put a link to an example of an all-in-one, because I'm really sorry I don't have one, because they are really, it is a good option. Like I know a lot of people who use them all in ones. Gosh, that's kind of a tongue twister, because they are so easy to use. Like they take a lot of the stress off. A couple of things I wanted to show. This is a on-the-go wet bag. So we use these for school and when we're on the go. When you have a dirty diaper, you just throw it into here, and then this whole thing goes in your full diaper pail. Like you take the diaper out and this goes into the big diaper pail. Should also mention, when you're using pockets or, you know, this liner version, you have to take it apart before you put it into the diaper pail. Ain't nobody wants to be digging into a stinky diaper pail to get them separated to wash them, and they have to be separated to wash them. No, I'm not doing that. You do it right at diaper change, or else you won't really live to regret it. Another thing that's nice about the all-in-ones, you don't have to worry about that. There's like no extra step there. And then this is a reusable diaper pail bag. Yeah. So this whole thing goes into the washing machine, which I will show you in another sections video. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna edit it all together, but I will show you the cleaning routine that you do. And then the last thing, well, two last things I wanted to show. We use cloth wipes too. So these are wipes. These were like dirt cheap. And then I fold them like, I guess, accordion style. So again, when I'm prepping, folding, whatever, after they're clean, I just kind of do them like every other. And then I put them into the wipe warmer thingy. I don't plug it in. I just use the container, and then we just pull it out. And what I do in the wipe warmer, I put a little bit of water, like 2 drops of soap, and 1 drop of baby oil. And then I smush it into these. And I would say I probably make more wipes like every other day. And I probably will film myself also making wipes, because I feel like that's a whole extra layer. I'm trying to make this as like easy as possible. But you know when you're like, you do something a lot and it just becomes like kind of second nature? I feel like that's what cloth diapering is to me now. So if I leave anything out, or you have any questions about anything, like need further info, just drop it down in the comments below, because when you're doing something for a while, it just becomes like, oh yeah, I don't know, you forget a step because like you just know how to do it, if that makes sense. So anyway. Okay, the last thing I was gonna show, this is definitely not a must-have, and I actually barely ever use it. This is Rockin' Green pail freshener. So you sprinkle this on the bottom of the diaper pail. Does the diaper pail smell? Yes. Does every single diaper pail I have ever encountered in my entire life smell? Yes. I just don't think this really does anything. I don't think you need it. I think sodium bicarb, what is it? Baking soda would be better to put on the bottom, because that's more eco-friendly too. So this probably just is, yep. Ingredients, sodium bicarbonate. So basically this is just baking soda. This, when I purchased one of his sets of diapers, this was like thrown in there for free. That's the only reason why I own it. So the other thing that I will also put a link to down below, because it's actually at our old house, we don't even have it here at the new house, is a diaper sprayer. I loved our diaper sprayer. Definitely, again, is a want to have, not a must have, but woo, made our journey, especially at the beginning, way easier. And I was into it. Okay, so now let's get into some of the things that I kind of wrote down here. So we've gone over the basics of what a cloth diaper even is. Why have we chosen to cloth diaper? So a couple of things. I would say I lean towards the crunchy granola side. I'm not like not wearing deodorant, living in a tree crunchy granola, but I definitely err on that side. I was kind of raised crunchy granola. I'm from a very crunchy granola town. And I actually was cloth diapered. I was cloth diapered as a child more because of cost. It was so much cheaper, but I don't know, it's just like one of those things where if it was done for you, you just kind of feel like that's just the way you're gonna do it too, if that makes sense. No judgment about it or anything. It's just like, meh, that was what my mom did, that's what I'll do kind of thing. Side note, these are actually from my childhood. These were used on my butt when I was tiny. That's how eco-friendly cloth diapering is. Like, I just think that's wild. Like, my mom had these, don't know why. She saved them, but she gave them all to me. So, I mean, again, these are like, a pack of 10 is $10, but still, I mean, it's better to get something for free. I think there's about 45 in here. So there's a lot. But anyway, and they're in excellent shape. So that's number one. Also very earth friendly. Well, I'm trying to be like, we compost. I'm just trying to limit that, you know, our impact. Of course, we do eat meat. That would be the biggest way we could limit our impact. But anyway, we did go vegetarian for a while and my husband was not into it. So, anyway, and cost savings, I'll get more into that later. That was what's made my husband. It's all about the dollar bills, saving them anyway. And then fewer chemicals on baby skin. So I have really sensitive skin. I was kind of just erring on the side that he probably would too. He does. He can't even do any perfumes, dyes, nothing. Like, so sensitive. When he started him at school, he broke out into a rash because they use some sort of baby detergent, but even that was like too much for his crazy skin. He got a rash all over. So, and I do the same thing. I have eczema. It like I can't do any dyes. Anyway, so I feel like that was it. Oh, I did write this down too. Super absorbent polymer, which is what's in conventional diapers. Like, that's what that absorbent chunks are. Is actually unclear if it poses potential carcinogen risks. So SAP is made of chlorines and dioxins, perfumes, dyes, and phthalates, none of which have been adequately studied to see if they do pose some sort of human carcinogen risk. And that's kind of freaky. I did this research a while ago and I had forgotten that. Wow, that's creepy. Anyway, so we just talked about the different types of cloth diapers, but I also do want to throw in here that it's not all or nothing. So if you do want to do some cloth diapers, cool. Like, we didn't start cloth diapering until James was like, I want to say 6 weeks, because the newborn is just really overwhelming and the fit is hard on these. And I was just like, ugh, no, this is too overwhelming. So I did conventional diapers, and we still do conventional diapers overnight because we could not, he sleeps for 12 hours and I just couldn't find the diaper that didn't leak. And then I tried a bunch of different ones. And then sometimes we're on the go. It's just easier to just throw a diaper out than bring the wet bag and all this mess. So, and like, if we're on vacation, I don't know if we're gonna have a washer or dryer, I use conventional. So it doesn't have to be all or nothing. And it's not, you can do it in a way where this isn't a huge cost investment. So then if it's like, if it doesn't work out, oh well, who cares? You know, it wasn't a huge investment. So, okay, okay, so we talked about the covers and pre-folds. That's what these are called. I knew there was another name other than liner and diaper. These are called pre-folds because they're pre-folded. Look at that. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the liner. So this is more in relation to pockets. This is like more specific to pockets. There are a couple of different types of material that these inserts can be made out of. These are hemp liners. So hemp can go against baby skin. This is a microfiber liner. You can't really, I don't think you can really tell on the camera, but the texture is different. I don't know if you can see it. The feel is different. Like this is a lot thicker than this. This is obviously more expensive. I much prefer the hemp over the microfiber. Normally when you buy cloth diapers, they come with microfiber inserts. I am not a fan. I don't love them. I wanted to see if I have any of my charcoal liners here. Let me see if I have. Yeah. This is a charcoal liner. So also, I think this also can't go against baby skin. Maybe it can. Yeah, it can. The microfiber is definitely the least absorbent. It goes, this one, I mean, you can just feel it too. It's like thinner. This is that came with the diaper. And then, charcoal and then hemp. So these are my absolute favorite, but they're more expensive. Let's talk about the costs. So I did some research about the costs of cloth diapering versus conventional diapering. When I say conventional, I mean the disposable. I think that was obvious, but I'll just throw that in there to make sure. So at the time I did this research, James used 8 to 10 diapers over a 24-hour period. He actually uses even fewer than that now. So I would say he probably uses 5 to 6 diapers over a 24-hour period because his, he's more consolidated. His peeing and pooping. Anyway, so that at that time, the 8 to 10 diapers averaged about 70 diapers a week. So that's 3,640 per year. For the conventional, this is how I did the cost breakdown. I did the Pampers Swaddlers, which is our favorite of the conventional diapers, versus the cloth diapering in terms of the costs. So you would need 22 boxes of diapers a year. If you get the biggest, it's like the 186 count box of diapers. Well, it's big. And that's $36. So you need 22 boxes for the year. So it's $792 a year. Wipes. If you only use one wipe per diaper change, which most people use way more than that, you would need 7 cases per year of the Pampers Sensitive. It's $14.59 a case, so that's $103 a year. So total cost of diaper, a child who's using 70 diapers a week in conventional diapers is $895. I feel like, okay, so like I said, I did this research last year. I feel like a 186 count thing of diapers is more than $36. But anyway, we'll go with it. So that's $895 a year. I know costs also have that up, so that could be part of it. Cloth diapers. So at the time I just did this research, this was our stash. Stash has changed. We got some as gifts. Some have grown legs and fled the coop. Yada yada. I had 20 pockets. I bought them for $4 each because others caveat here, I bought almost all of his diapers used. So they were $4 each, so that was $80. Wait, no. Yeah. I have 4 covers for $3 each, so that was $12. All-in-ones were $5 each. So I had $20 total of those. All the pre-folds were free. I bought all the reusables and wipes used, and I paid $25 for those. So I spent a total of $137 for his wipe and diaper stash. So like I was saying to me, not a huge investment. You know, some of this, obviously we were blessed with, like the pre-folds were free, but even if we didn't have any of the pre-folds, like that's enough of a stash to get you through. And just the diapers alone was $112. So, okay. I also looked at the cost of water, right? Because there is some added cost with cloth diapering because of water costs. Our water costs went up about $20 a month. So that's $240 a year that we're spending on water. But it's difficult to say if that was just related to the diapers, because we were also washing bottles, washing more dishes, and washing more clothes, because we have a whole another human to clothe in the house. So I couldn't like take away those factors. So that's just a caveat. So including cost of water for the year, the cloth diaper, it's $377 for the year. So if you remember back, it was $895 to conventional diaper for the year. So that's a savings of $518 per year. Second year, you'd only pay for water. So that's a savings of $655 for the second year. So we're about to be into our third year of cloth diapering. I'm sorry, I keep hiccuping. I apologize. I think it's the energy drink I'm drinking. Anyway, so for every year going forward, including if additional kids come along, we'll only be paying for the water because we have all the stash already. Like, we don't need to invest anymore. So, I cannot do quick math in my head, but that's over $1,000 for 2 years. So if it was another 600, so yeah, I mean, it would end up being almost $2,000 of savings to diaper for 3 years until you potty train for one child. So that's a lot of money. That is what won my husband over, because he was not really into the idea. He's way less crunchy granola than I am. Okay, so I want to dig into the pros and cons, because there definitely are both, some of each. The pros are better for the environment, of course, definitely. The designs are really cute. Like, I think the designs are so much cooler than conventional diapers. Like, I don't know, they're so cute. Little cardinal in the sky. Little llama. Yeah, they're cute. I'm into them. And I feel like we've had way less diaper rash. Like, I feel like we've only had diaper rash that we have to like really treat once, like honestly once. And I think part of the reason is there's like not the sap or the dyes and perfumes. There's also, you change the diaper quicker because you can smell it better if there's poop. Like, there have been times she's been wearing a conventional diaper and I cannot smell that he's pooped. I'm like, what the? Like, because the perfume, it's crazy. So, and then also, I think you change the pee faster too. So anyway, it's just like less time where human waste is sitting on baby skin, if that makes sense. And the diaper pail, I think it smells better than the one we have for his conventional diapers, because it's not like all just like enclosed. Because we use a diaper genie for his conventional like overnight diapers, and God, I empty that thing once a week and it is foul. It is so gross. I think it's just like sitting there. It's just really concentrated. It's in plastic, so it's just like not breathable. Versus the cloth diaper bag is getting air in it. It's kind of helping the smell, and then I change it every 2 days. So I think that's probably the bigger thing, because I change it so frequently. So it does not smell as bad. Cons. It's definitely more work. I will be the first to admit that. It definitely is an added chore. 100%. It is definitely more work. And I can say that because I do the bulk of it. Definitely not as convenient. You have to do some pre-planning. And I will say they leak more. I mean, part of it is we have a boy. They're just more prone to pee-pee leaks. We've never had a poopy leak, which is awesome. But they definitely leak more for the pee-pees. So I think like a couple takeaways from our cloth diapering experience has been, like I was saying earlier, I don't know, so much of parenting is just not all or nothing. Like, you just make of it what you want. Like, $112, $137 investment is just not that big to me. So if you are interested in cloth diapering and you want it to work for you, I feel like it's just try it, you know, get a couple. But I will say you have to give it a fair shake. Like, I wouldn't get 2 diapers and and then be surprised if it doesn't work out, because the routine is not going to get there if you're only buying like 2 cloth diapers. Like, you need I would say you do have to like actually make an investment in terms of you have to get enough of a supply in a stash that you're going to be able to like actually successfully diaper with it. But I will also say you can mix and match. You can do some conventional here and there. You can do cloth. If you start the cloth and you're like, nope, not into it, then move away from it or come back to it. I definitely recommend to anyone, even if they're super interested in cloth diapering, I really wouldn't try it right from home, from the hospital. I just think there's too much going on. You have this tiny infant who has very high needs. You're barely getting any sleep. You're exhausted. You're trying to get to know this human that is brand new to the world. I don't know. There's just a lot going on. You're trying to figure out feeding, which is a whole like other kit and caboodle. So I just think, I feel like just take the stress, make it as easy as possible for you, and just do conventional diapering for the first 6 to 8 weeks until you get your feet under you. Maybe getting more than 3 hours of sleep. Maybe. Hopefully. So there's that. You can also, there's like a wide gamut here. Like, you can do cheap with these pre-folds. It's gonna be harder. I mean, it's gonna be more work. Pre-folds and liners, because these liners are $3, I think, right? Yeah, these covers, they're $3 used. So, and then I'll have to put links to what they are new, just because I feel like to give it a fair shake. Like, I'll have to link what they are new, because they are more expensive new, of course. So you could go this route and go cheap, or you can get all-in-ones, which are more expensive but much easier. So, you kind of can just make it, it's really flexible. You can make it what you want of it, I feel. And yeah, you can make it your own. That's kind of what I've written here. Like, there's a big variation, and I'm all about making it your own, making it as easy as possible. You do you, boo. And I've just found it like a lot easier than I thought it would be. Like, it was just, once I got it into a good routine, I did do a lot of research ahead of time. And like I said, I bought almost every single diaper used. So what I did is I trolled Facebook Marketplace, and people will sell like their whole stash at once. And then I got to people at a point where like, I was like, I just need 2. I don't need a whole freaking stash of 30. Like, can I just buy 2? So if you are gonna do the used route, a couple of pointers. I would not get the Velcro ones. Let me see if I can find a Velcro one. These are a couple takeaways that I learned. So these are Velcro ones. So they Velcro clothes. That's what they call Velcro. Cool. Sounds obvious. These just don't hold up that well to washing. Like, you can kind of see like the Velcro has been a little bit picked over. Plus, once baby becomes about 6 months to 8 months old, guess what they can do? And then you look up and there's a butt cheek hanging out. So yeah, I wouldn't get these. I have like 3 or 4 of these that are Velcro, and I've never bought any more after I started using them and realized, ooh, this is a big user error. So I think that's one takeaway. You want to make sure you're checking the elastic if you're buying used. If you're buying new, you should not have to worry about the elastic. I would still stay away from the Velcro because of those 2 reasons that I just mentioned. You're gonna have a booty hanging out pretty soon. But also, okay, so anyway, if you're buying used, this is specifically about used, you want to make sure your elastic is good. So this, actually the elastic was not good on this one. I did not pay close enough attention. It was one of the first diapers I purchased, and my mom fixed it because she's amazing. So she took out the old elastic and sewed new elastic. So it's more of an issue when baby is still little, because they have kind of skinny legs. Once they get chunky and they fill out this leg hole, it's not as big of a deal. But I mean, like, look how tight that elastic is. That's perfect. Like, you're not gonna have leg leaks there. So that's very good. You wanna really make sure your elastic is good on these. Do not put the outer portion, pocket, liner, whatever, into the dryer. It's going to melt. Not melt, but it's just not gonna hold up as well. The buttons could potentially start to melt. It depends on how hot your dryer is. And they just deteriorate and it wears out elastic. It's just not worth it. And then, okay, this is what I was gonna show you. This is cool too. So if you're gonna be looking on the internet, there's, I don't know, the cloth diapering is so cool. Like there's just so many different facets of it. So this is called a double gusset. So it has like 2 little elastic strips there. So this is like one of my favorite diapers, which we used more actually. Like you're not gonna have any leaks with this bad boy because you got 2 stops, basically like 2 elastic parts that hold really tight to the leg. So you're just not gonna have any leaks. But I feel like I was gonna say one other thing. Anyway, I wanted to make this video because I've been cloth diapering for almost 2 years. We've had a lot of success with it. I'm very happy that we did it. I will do it again if we have another child. And for sure, because I really didn't find it too challenging. And once I got the routine down, it was really just like, okay, this is just like another chore, like brushing my teeth, you know? But I don't have any thoughts or feelings about doing cloth diapering or not cloth diapering for other people. Like, and even for myself, like if we have our next child and it is way harder with 2 kids, especially if my oldest is still in diapers, I mean, I'm all about making it as easy on yourself as possible while also just trying to, I don't know, do the way you want to do it. Like I feel like you have this vision. Anyone who's a parent, which probably most of you are if you're watching this or about to be, you have this, I think, vision or idea of how things are going to go, and it changes as life happens, which is just life in general, I think. So give yourself some grace. I'm a big believer in grace, and do what you want. But I do get a lot of questions about what our routine is like the ins and outs of cloth diapering or whatever. So that's why I want to make this video. And last thing I'll say, because I forgot to mention it earlier, you cannot use diaper creams on clothies. It will ruin them. I guess you could do it on these if you weren't that worried about ruining them, but it will ruin this layer right here. So if you do have a situation of very bad diaper rash, you're gonna have to use conventional diapers, or they sell these little liners that go in the diaper. I don't have any more because we never use them, so I gave them to my sister, but they're like, I can't even remember what material they're. I'll link them below, but you just like fold them and put them down. But I still would be hesitant to use creams on even those because I just wouldn't want to ruin my diapers. They're just nice and I don't want to ruin them. So, okay, so the first cold cycle has completed on the diapers. So the reason why you want to do a cold wash first is because if there are stains, the cold wash will get them out. Hot water actually sets stains, and you want to get all of like the debris off. So when you have a poop diaper, you need to dump the poop into the toilet, of course, but there's always going to be like a little bit that sticks to the diaper, of course. So when we do actually have a sprayer too that we spray the diaper down with, that helps a lot too. But so you want to do the cold wash cycle first. So that's completed. So now we're going to do our hot wash with soap. So I use these Drops laundry pods. You can use whatever brand that you want, but I would recommend a low residue washing soap because the more residue that gets stuck in the diaper, actually the less it will be effective. Once it gets like stuck down with soap, it's less absorbent. So I use the Drops Laundry Small Loads Sensitive Skin and Baby, so there's no dye. So I'm gonna add one of these pods to my washer drum. I need to unlock it because the toddler was playing with it. Okay, so I just throw it right in the back. I do it on, this has a bunch of different cycle options. You really don't need that. Let me angle this down so you can see it a little bit. Just needs to be hot water and heavy soil mode. So whatever washing machine you have, just make sure that those are, so I put it on the hottest setting. I have it rinsed 3 times, but you don't really need to do that. And then you want to have it on the heaviest soil option. And then I'll hit start. So that's what really, this is the cycle that really gets the diapers cleaned. So they have soap in there, it's on hot water, it's rinsed a few times, and then it's a heavy soil load. So last cycle I'm gonna do is again the quick wash, but on hot water, just to get all the soap and residue out. That will be the final setting. So that first cold cycle is to get your stains out and get like sediment and debris off your diapers. The second cycle is a hottest wash, heaviest soil load to really clean the diapers. And then the third cycle is a hot rinse to get all of the soap out of your diapers. So that's the way we do it. I've definitely heard of a lot of other techniques, but this has always been really successful for us. We get them really clean this way. And like I said, I do every other day because we actually have enough diapers that we don't have to wash them that frequently, but the diapers start to really smell bad if you let them sit for longer than like 48 hours. And then when we go to dry them, I'll show you that, what we do for that technique. You don't want to dry your covers in the dryer because the hot heat can melt your elastic and the snaps and just make it wear out a lot faster than it should. So I'll show you how we dry them, but all in all, the washing period does take a while because it's 3 separate loads. So I just do this as like, it's like hands-off cleaning time, right? So I just have it running in the background when I'm doing other chores around the house. I usually do it in the evenings during the week, but I did not get a chance to do it last night. The washing machine was being used for other things, so we'll just let it do its thing. Okay, so my diapers have finished washing. They've done the 3 cycles, the cold, the hot with soap, and then the hot rinse with no soap. I'm gonna move them over to the dryer into the hanging rack so you can see the last step of the cleaning process. All right, here we go. So the bag, the inserts, and the wipes I throw into the dryer, and then the, let's see, okay, there you go. The covers I hang up on the rack and let them dry. They dry really quickly. It takes about, I don't know, maybe a couple hours, 4 hours or so. The only exception being these overnight cloth diapers, they just won't dry. This is like super thick, has like an extra absorbent layer here. It's not gonna dry on the rack like ever. So that I put into the dryer. So I think that covers it. And if you have any questions, just put them down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Alrighty. If you like this video, please subscribe below. Hit the alarm bell so you get an alert of when the next one's coming. I'm aiming to be posting about once a week, maybe once every other week, as I get more into it. And I think that's it.